Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start off with this great picture of Dick Martin. May he rest in peace. But these are going to be pictures that we took during Red Deer in 2009 in Red Deer, Alberta. So we're going to put them together for you, and I hope you're going to enjoy them. So we're going to start off like all things that do at a convention. We're going to start off with the early arrivals. People arrive early, and they arrive for a number of reasons, weather being one, but mostly for people who arrive early, they're volunteers, and they become the free labor to go ahead and put it together. And they do a wide variety of tasks, run errands, and do quite a bit, all behind the scenes before it starts. And then here's Phil with his beautiful G3 Cirrus. It's a wonderful airplane. I was fortunate enough to get to fly it and work on it the year before in Burlington. But anyway, with early arrivals, you get to spend some time meeting friends like Greg Sincock and Carolyn Brown from California. And like I said, when you arrive early, you get to work. And we put up a lot of snow fence to partition off the airport, so we had areas for everything, and we had areas that were safe for children and safe for airplanes. So again, when you arrive early, you're expected to be put to work. So if you arrive early, don't be surprised if it happens. And by the way, it's a lot of fun. You get a lot of camaraderie, you get to swap a lot of stories, and you get some work done while it's all done. Nothing's like working and having fun at it. And here you can see the area that's going to be filling up over the next few days as folks arrive for convention. The cones will mark the rows, and we'll have some pictures later on as we fill up during the event. So you'll get to see a wide variety of that. And then here's what sits out in front of the Red Deer Airport. Quite the nice thing to have an airplane on a pylon letting you know it's an airport. So we took a shot of it for you. And then here's the control tower. And you can read the field elevation. And that's in MSL, not meters, by the way. And then, of course, one of the things that people did while they were in Red Deer, one of the tours you could sign up for was the Calgary Stampede, and it is quite the big show, and it is well worth going to see if you've never seen it. You'll get to see rodeo, you'll get to see acts. Again, it's the big show, and if you've ever seen it, you'll understand why. It's almost like a carnival atmosphere around the Calgary Stampede. You can go and find anything you want to eat or drink. There's a wide variety of performances celebrating both Canada's past, the Native Americans, as well as what you normally would see at any rodeo here in the United States. And of course, because some of the people were involved with the Calgary Stampede, a group of us were allowed to go down for a behind-the-scenes tour right up to the rail. And it was a nice event to attend, and you got to see a lot. And of course, then they get set up for the really big show, which is quite dynamic and has to be seen to be appreciated. And then I won't bother you anymore with that. Let me just say that it's a must. If you have to put it on your bucket list. Luann and I are glad that we went that year and got to see it. And then, as I said, all that parking lot that was laid out, well, here it is starting to fill up. And it's going to get even more full, ladies and gentlemen, with this. We had Grummins from all over the United States as well as Canada. So it was very well attended. Now, any kind of a fun event like this, well, people are going to have fun. And we found out fairly quickly that the folks in the room next door to Luann and I, our noisy neighbors, well, one of them was having a birthday and turning 50. So we, along with several others, after passing the word, we met and we decided to decorate their door just for them to let them know how special they were. And it turned out to be quite a bit of fun. We had to be very quiet when we were doing it because we didn't want the people inside to know about it, nor did we want to disturb the neighbors who were trying to get some sleep. Good luck with that at convention. I hardly ever get any sleep there. I'm busy all night. But anyway, we had a very good time with this door. And of course, the exchange rate applied on the birthday. And we had to apply that, again, as a sense of humor and having some fun. And then at the airport, there was a diner. And the girls there were trying to emulate a New Orleans kind of cafe. I, being from New Orleans, was very appreciative of that, had a lot of talking with them, really appreciated the Canadian coins that they had glued to the floor that you couldn't pick up. Anyway, Tipitina's, and then one day they actually let me bake a New Orleans pie for them in their kitchen, and we served it up for everybody. I mean, it was a chocolate chip coconut pecan pie, a very New Orleans Mardi Gras treat. And then back at the airport, not at the diner, we had more airplanes coming in and starting to fill everything up. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was quite a well-attended event, and we all had a very good time there. So, if you missed it, too bad. If not, you get to watch and see what we all did. And then we had folks with rental cars. Here's Greg and Carolyn grabbing some food and running on some errand. And then here I am baking a New Orleans pie for the girls at Tipitina's. We had a lot of chatting about what was New Orleans. They had a Bourbon Street sign hanging up. I mailed them when I got home a bunch of New Orleans Mardi Gras beads and some other stuff for them to hang in their restaurant. And of course, while I was baking the pie, I had a fair amount of people coming in to kibitz what was going on. Now, the Airport Cafe Diner, with the little sign back there right above the stove, Home on the Range, it was quite the social place for people to come in and take a break, have a piece of pie, have a drink, or just sit about the tables with their beverage or food and get out of the sun for a minute and just socialize with everybody. Here's two of the Porter girls. There's Bonnie and one of her daughters. But again, it was a good social event and a nice place to go and meet people. And I personally did like the New Orleans theme and didn't get to spend as much time there as I wanted. Usually, we're finding things to do out on the ramp. And here's Bob Arnold, and we're making some adjustments on his front nose wheel. And very interesting way to pick up this airplane for Bob and Irene. You just have somebody sit on the tail, sit on the spar, and there you don't need a bag of weight or anything when you've got folks to help. And of course, again, back at the diner, a lot of folks. Here's Greg Sincock and Carolyn Brown just having a great time and posing for the picture, wearing their Roy Lopresti shirts. And another one of the side trips you could take during the convention was you could go to Calgary Stampede. There was also a museum of vehicles and airplanes and motorcycles nearby, and we went to that. And again, it was a lot of fun. Ken and I got to see a lot of motorcycles in a condition that we normally don't get to see them at. So we were kind of impressed with all of that. And again, it was very well laid out. And again, this is in Red Deer, Calgary, Alberta. But anyway, back to the museum. Again, a wide variety of cars and vehicles. And I'm going to go ahead and let you look at these pictures, and I'll pick you up at the next segment. So please enjoy. here's John Burlett's nice looking Tiger in a military kind of scheme, because he's a military kind of a guy. A very nice looking airplane. And of course, here's Mr. and Mrs. Ground Boss. They were attending and they were having some fun running around being ground boss. And of course, ground boss is a man and sometimes will kiss his wife, and we caught that on film. Cindy was kind of amused by all of that. So we were all having a pretty good time at Red Deer that year. And then, ladies and gentlemen, here's some of the stuff laid out on the ramp for like Precision Taxi. We also had spot parking. We had all the reindeer games, and of course we didn't take pictures of them all. And then one of the other side events that you could take was out to a forestry session where you got to see a lot about the forest and how it's maintained and everything else, along with their tower, which gave some great views for taking photography of the surrounding area. And there was also a cafe diner at the very top of it with a lot of glass windows, and several people went outside to take pictures of the folks inside, as you shall see. But again, all very well laid out and a fun event, and everybody had a good time. So I'll let you enjoy these pictures of this event, and again, I'll pick you up on the other segment. Now here we are back at the airport, and as you can see, parking lot, everybody's tied down to be nice and safe in case there's any kind of weather. We didn't have any, but you never know. And we had flying events. We had the flower bomb and other stuff. There were also some picnic tables near the tower area where you could go and you could sit and you could observe everything going on. They served as a good spot. There's Lou Evans with a broom, and he's going to take it for a spin in a little while. And Carolyn Brown sitting watching going on. And then there's the upper deck that you could also go up to get a kind of view for all the ground events. And we had quite a bit going on the ground. Right below that tower, well, we had the Broken Toe Bar, so folks could go and try it. We had a men's division and we had a women's division. Irene Arnold took a go at it. Lou Evans and I met for our usual head on head to see who was going to take it that year. Lou and I have quite the competition going on for Broken Toe Bar. But again, it's a fun event. And Red Deer in Canada, what was really nice about the airport was it was very clean, and they had appropriate barrels everywhere so trash could go in and not litter the airport. And of course, we had a broom there for keeping some of the debris on the ramp away from propellers. But here's Irene Arnold getting ready to start the Broken Toe Bar and take it through the course. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was quite a bit of fun. It's a timed event. As you can see in the background, we had the tent for our meals and our meeting spaces, shielded from the weather should it rain, and also giving us some shade and places for folks to comfortably sit down and chat. And then here's the other side of the ramp. You can see the big model sitting there on the floor near the picnic tables. A quick shot of the parking lot. But again, nice airport, very well laid out, and everybody had a really good time that attended that year. And of course, the appropriate banners are always flying at the airport, and I'll let you continue to look at these pictures around the airport that particular day. Again, the biggest thing on that particular day was the Broken Toe Bar, and a number of ladies took a try at it, a number of men took a try at it, and the host kept track of it. So we'll go ahead and throw some music down here, and we'll come back and join you at the next segment. So what's fun at the airport without a little meal, and it comes in the back of a pickup truck and gets unloaded along with all the drinks and everything else. They'd already set up the sound system with the microphone for announcements, and everything's getting laid out on the table. And again, we're going to have a nice airport meal at the same time, enjoying each other's company, listening to all the announcements, and just making the best of the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the nice things about going to convention is all the people that come around, and you get to see the same folks from year to year. You get to swap stories and keep track of everything, as well as all the competition and the reindeer games, trophies to be giving out at the dinner. But for us, it was mainly the work that we did to support the organization and the fact that we got to see our extended family this one time of the year, and it became a priority that we would make sure that we would attend that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you get the kind of idea. I don't know what they're like today under their new branding of GOPA. Hope that's working out well for them. They could have had a Grumman name years ago, but the board didn't want it because they're afraid of being sued by Grumman. And Northrop Grumman is not going to worry about a nonprofit organization. But anyway, here's some pictures of people having fun in kind of like the chalet tent with the windows and all built in. And then, of course, there's always the thank you shots that we take. Now, this is in two parts to put together in a panoramic. We eventually took another one. But to thank all our donors for what they donate, we took this group shot of everybody at convention along with our banner and a big thank you. And then in the final one, you will see we actually wrote Red Deer in the clouds with a skywriter. But anyway, there was a dinner that we got to dress up for and go out and buy Western wear, the shirts, the jeans, the belts, the boots, the buckles, the spurs, everything. Oh, and then the hat, by the way, which we still have, just so we could go to the dinner appropriately dressed for it. And of course, as always, we have seminars for people to share their information with us each year at the convention, where everybody can sit down and take notes. We tell different stories. Some of us do it one way, some of us do another, and here we are talking about the 2010 convention that's going to be in Dayton. Of course, this is 2009. And then we got the Flight Museum. We got to dress up for photos like this, and this is how Dick Martin dressed up for that first photo. But Luann and I had a lot of fun with that. And again, John Brulette's Tiger from Cody, Wyoming got a lot of attraction because it is a very distinctive military paint scheme on his aircraft. And as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, the parking lot really swelled. We had a lot of people fly in. Now, Luann and I flew commercial due to scheduling conflicts. But anyway, there's John Brulette's Tiger, a little closer view of it. And it was a well-attended event. We had a lot of unusual airplanes as well as a lot of the perennial favorites. So let's move on a bit here now to the next little section. Now, as I said, we take a thank you picture. Luann and I have done the donations for the AYA for like 10 or 15 years, and we had a list that we used, and we like to thank all of our individual suppliers. And it's really nice when they get a picture like this that they can hang on the wall. And it can work locally, for your local airport and fly-ins when you go to the grocery stores for buns and hamburgers and stuff like that. Be sure to send a picture to the management. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed all this behind the scenes and on the scenes look at Cody, Wyoming. I'd like to thank Mike Shear and Sarah Seipel for Luann and I's sparkling lit up ice cubes that went in our drinks. And again, thanks for watching and have a great day flying. Your Grumman.